Hey friends, it's Len from 1A Auto. Today I'm working on a 2007 Hyundai Elantra. I'm going to show you how to do a purge valve. It's going to be a very easy job. I want to be the guy that shows you how to do it. If you need this part or any other part, you can always check us out at 1aauto.com. Thanks. Alright, so now it's time to learn how to remove the engine cover. You're going to take off your 4 10mm head bolts, assuming you have all 4, unless you're on this vehicle and you've only got 2. There's one. Set that aside so we can't lose it. Come on over. Grab the only other one. Feels like it's gonna probably break. Oh, maybe, let's see. I think I got it. Bolt number 2. Set that aside. There's our engine cover. Okay, so I'm going to show you where the purge valve is. I got my little pointer here. You come all the way down in right there, and there it is, okay? It's right underneath this intake. So all we're going to do is pull the engine out of here. Just kidding. We'll leave the engine in, but what we'll do is we'll actually just remove this right here, this right here, this right here, get this hose out of the way, then we should be able to get our arm down in there. We should be able to get it out. Let's try it that way first. There we go. Just a little spray, That one looks pretty good. We'll spray it anyway. There we go. We can use our 10mm. We're going to relieve pressure from right here. Okay. I'm just going to turn this to the left. We don't have to remove the clamp completely, just to say that. All we want to do is get it freed up. I like to spray things with Penetrant. A little bit of lube. Keep reversing this ratchet. Let's loosen it up a little bit more. Come on, get on there. Might be loose enough. Take some pliers, squeeze that, 8mm here. We'll get this hose right out of the way. Here we go. Let's remove that clamp. Let's use pliers, whatever you've got. Squeeze it down, bring it up and away from the inlet hose. If you want, you can take this off of there. I'm just gonna give this hose a little twist, see if we can pull it off of here. If it doesn't want to come off, there we go. Pull that right off. Cool. We'll get this 8mm. Seems like it's pretty loose. Stuff out of the way. Let's see if this hose comes off. Okay. Once I get this hose off of here, set that aside. Now we can get right in back here. We should be able to get to it pretty easy. Okay, so let's reach in here. We'll grab our wiring harness. I'm just gonna squeeze a little tab. I'll show you in 1 second. There we are. Right here, just squeezed it with my thumb. Not release the lock. We always take a look inside of our electrical connectors, right? Make sure there's no rainbow colors or funny colors or rust or anything like that in there. None of that's any good for electrical connectors. That looks pretty great. We'll set it aside. Now we're going to remove the 2 clamps that hold the bottom hose and the upper hose on, and then we'll be able to slide our unit off of the bracket. Okay, so now let's get these clamps off of here, okay? Got my little hose clamp tool. You can use whatever you've got. If you want to use some pliers or your fingers or whatever you want to do. But essentially, just squeeze it. We're going to try to lift that hose clamp up onto the hose a little higher up. That feels pretty great. I'm going to try to do the lower one. See if I can see it real quick. Should be able to get down there. Just trying to grab that lower clamp. Whether yours is located right exactly where mine is or not, I don't know. But essentially take off the upper clamp, take off the lower clamp, take off the wiring harness, and then remove your unit from the bracket. There we go. Now we'll just grab maybe like a small screwdriver of some sort and just see if we can break those hoses free. Start with the upper hose. I'm just gonna try to kind of pry in between the unit itself and the hose just to try to break it free. Once I feel like it's broken free enough, I can probably grab the hose and just lift it. Let's see if that'll work. If I can get my arm back here. There we are. Hose number one. Let's see if we can get that lower one. So I'm just gonna see about getting it off the bracket first, and then I'll just pull the whole unit up with the bracket or with the hose still attached and just try to separate it that way. So let's come through this way. I'm just gonna try to push on this right here with my screwdriver. Now I'll grab my unit. See if I can get it to a workable area here. Just gonna give it a little twist, try to break the hose free from it. Here we go. Okay, it's cruising. There's that. All right, so now it's time to get this rubber mount off of here, okay? Because as you can tell, the old one doesn't come with the rubber mount. So all we're gonna do is pop the old one out, right? Should be pretty easy. I'm gonna be careful. I'm gonna use a screwdriver. Careful not to stab my fingers or anything like that. Just gonna try to slide it in here. Just wedge it in. You can go a little bit of penetrant or whatever you have for a lubricant. Just work it around in there. Cool. Okay, let's see if this will slide out. There we are. Clean it off. There's our purge valve. Okay, friends, a quick product comparison for you. Here we have our old purge valve out of our 2007 Hyundai Elantra. We just removed it. It's fairly easy. And over here we have our quality 1A auto part. As you can tell, the two look exactly the same side by side. Turn them other side, looks exactly the same. We've got our connection port, hose end. So, as you can tell, this part will fit in perfectly. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't be a great part to install in the vehicle, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So if you need this part or any other part, you can always check us out at 1aauto.com. Thanks. Here we go, time for the install. All we're gonna do now, we're just gonna slide this back in here. We've got a couple little grooves there, or I guess it's more like a few little grooves, right? Couples too. Anyway, let's go for the center groove. Slide it in. There we are. Let's go install it in the vehicle now. All right, so let's get this started. We've got our lower hose located right down here. I'm just gonna try to get it connected in while I've got my hands, while I've got it right out here in my hands. There we are. Okay. See if I can get my clamp back up on there. I might have to move it around a little bit, I'm not sure. You wanna try to get the clamp back up to right where you got it from. It likes to be where it was. It was there for a long, long time. It's where it's comfortable. It's where all its friends are. There we are. That looks pretty great. A little tug. Yep, okay. Cool beans. Let's keep rolling. We're gonna slide it into our bracket there. Slides it in, okay. Now there's gonna be an upper hose. Just gonna see if I can weasel it on there. There we are. Okay, I'm gonna put the clamp on there real quick. bit more. Looks pretty great. All right, just double check it real quick, 1 second. Yep, both clamps are good. Get our connector. I'm gonna connect that in. There it is, give it a tug. Perfect, love it. All right, let's keep rolling. All right, so let's get our intake hose back on. If you find that it's too tight to get stuff in here, you can just pop these clips right here. We'll take this, slide it onto the intake, just like that. Pretty easy, right? Now I'm gonna take my air filter box and get it back on the hose right here. Just like that. Get this all clamped back in. There should be 4 clips. This one's missing one out back. Not worried about it. Let's tighten up these clamps now. We don't want to over tighten them and break anything. We just need to make sure that it's snug and we can't get any air getting sucked past the air filter without getting filtered first, right? Super important. You don't want dirty air getting into your engine. That's nice and snug. Okay. I'm gonna have a hose right here. There it is. Slide that on. There it is. This one slides right on. Clip. Tighten up this right here. So I'm going to tighten up this clamp. Let's make sure it's completely bottomed out, obviously. Using my 8mm. Oops, reversed it. That feels pretty great. Just give everything a wiggle. Boom, easy peasy. So here we go. We've got our cover. We're just gonna go ahead and set it right up on here. Get it lined up. When I took this off, I had 2 bolt holes. I had one there. I got one right over here. So that's where they're going. If you want to get extra bolts and you want to tap out the broken ones, that's completely up to you. For the purpose of this video, I'm not gonna worry about it. Just gonna see if I can get this started in here. This one. There it is.
Thanks for watching. Visit 1aauto.com, your place for DIY auto repairs, for great parts, great service, and more content.